Hey guys, how's it going? It's time for another quick cartography video. This one's only going to be about 4.5 minutes long. So, one of the things that we discover today, we haven't figured out quite yet, is this new brush in cartography, not in Photoshop. It may not be a new brush, but it's a new brush to me because I just updated my Photoshop version. It is called the Mixer Brush Tool, and oh my god, it's beautiful. It changes my life. I end up using it a little bit too much. I need to learn to not quite rely on it so much, but we're going to use it everywhere. The other thing that we're going to do a lot today is work on colors. We're going to add a bunch of detail. We're also adding a legend, but we're really working on kind of coloration, and I guess that's a lot of details. We're changing roads, we're changing a lot of stuff, but I want to get the colors right because that kind of brings everything to life. So we're gonna do that after we finish making this legend, which will probably change. I'm not super fond of how that legend works. And we're going to populate and add some details. There's going to be an island that we're going to turn into a volcano. We do a lot of like trying to measure things and figure out how things are supposed to be in relation to the real world. For example, there's that chunk of hills in the upper left. That's roughly the size of Greece. Not full of Greece, but just what is it called? Peninsular Greece? It's not peninsular Greece. That little segment of Greece that hangs off the end. You know, everything to the southwest of Corinth. Go Corinth. We're going to add in a lot of forest, and we're going to do a lot of work that we're just going to throw out the window. See all that stuff? Yeah, it's gone. See, we're adding some new stuff. We're adding some new. No, it's gone. It's all gone. And then it comes in, goes, and comes, and it goes. So we add a lot of details that weren't in the original map because some places just look a little bit boring. We're add these mountains. We're going to add some mountains in the lower right that are going to look pretty cool. It looks like a meteor impacted in kind of like a sliding way instead of just a big plop down crater. We spend a lot of time working on the colors in this section right here. Thank God we've got this nice long view. We're going to change those colors a ton. The entire area is going to go through like 7 or 8 iterations. See, look, we came back to the mountains to do them a little bit better. We add a bunch more hills, a lot more hills. In fact, we're going to be not pretty much done with detail, but the map is going to be about 50% done with detail, 60% done with detail by the end of this. There's just going to be the large section on the right, the big red kingdom section. That will need to be done. And I'm really not looking forward to that because I don't know what to put in there. It's just this big empty area and it feels like it needs details and I don't want to keep adding more mountains and stuff. We'll get to it eventually. See, here's our volcano. It's too red. Yeah, add some yellow and orange. Yeah, there we go. Volcano looks great. And look at our swamps. Adding in some forest, little details here and there. I'm a big fan of forest. I pretty much have all of my D&D campaigns taking place in forests predominantly just because I think forests are cool and I like trees and I like the color green and stupid reasons like that. But I find myself relying on forests too heavily. Especially because you wouldn't have that much forested area in a real world because you need farmland. And ooh, yeah, this is that meteor impact slidey thingy that I was talking about before. That's actually might be my favorite image on or section of the entire map right now. And I just kind of pulled that out of my butt while I was working on this. See, we're redoing that middle section. Anyway, what I was saying about forest is you need a lot of farmland. You need a lot of trees for lumber. So you end up people end up cutting down lots and lots of trees. So you wouldn't have an entirely forested area unless people are making a concerted effort to keep the forest there, which is why that north area is going to end up being the like one heavily forested section because that's the elven section. So there's going to be a lot of forest. We tried a lake district. It didn't work out. I really didn't like the lake district. So we just added a bunch of big lakes. Which ended up being great. I guess you could call that a lake district, but it's a lot less. It's not like northern Canada where it's just big lakes all over the place. Here's this other island. I'm not sure what this whole place is going to be about. I mean, we end up fully mapping this out, but I'm not really pleased with it. We end up with just a lot of open space, which kind of makes sense, but it doesn't look quite right. You know, just wait a moment here. See, we fill in that corner. We're going to fill in the bottom right-hand corner, but see, it's still kind of open and empty. I'm not a big fan of it. I guess we do a little bit more detail there, and it looks a little bit better at the end. Anyway, that's it for our cartography. I think you can see we've come a long way now, and I hope to come a little bit further in this near future. Bye-bye, everybody.